This is disgusting. I need to be careful because of, you know, how YouTube handles that. By sensitive society. It's very interesting. We are going to talk about somebody called Niara VT. We'll just get into it. It's gonna get freaky. It's gonna get freaky. You'll see some outlandish shit, and you'll hear some outlandish shit. Let's just go.
Just when I think I've seen it all, I've heard it all. I mean, I've been doing YouTube full time for about 4 years, 4.5. I
Damn, 4.5 years since this society. Damn.
truly thought I've seen it all, but no, there's always someone freakier to come along. And guys, we found it. So there's this YouTuber / Twitch streamer.
I dislike you. I dislike you so much with your harassment of Kirsche, Kitsu. You had some shit going on with Rosie Bell. You had some other people. I think you had some problems with Mama Oko. You just goodness. Oh no, we're gonna hear something outlandish. We're gonna hear something outlandish. Oh goodness. Yeah, it's that person.
Streamer who goes by Niara, I think that's how you pronounce it. In my opinion, they're legitimately one of the freakiest
And they're from my country. Germany, why?
VTubers out there. Now, for the longest time, I thought VTubers were freaks. I thought they were weirdos. I thought they were degenerates. But then I realized, oh, that's just a stigma. It's not real. Not every VTuber is a degenerate. Some of them are chill. I mean, just look at this one right here.
Jump!
Right. There is a boy.
Who's this? Oh, stupid bitch.
I have to say, one of my favorite things, I'm gonna say it, one of my favorite things is Japanese VTubers that don't know English screaming the gamer word. This is one of my this is one of my favorite what's the word? Guilty pleasures. Cause it's, I don't know, it's funny. They don't know what it means and they just say it. I wonder when Asman will react to your videos. Oh goodness. For only if somebody of these retards goes after me, maybe then.
As you could see from their videos, they're pretty...
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think most VTubers aren't degens, but a lot of them are socially anxious. Like even I'm socially anxious. It just is what it is. It just is. Yeah, this is one of the people that goes after Kirsche. This is, look at this. Over Asmongold, Tectone, Kirsche. This guy that I've seen a couple of times on Twitter. Down here, more Kirsche. It's just Kirsche. Also one of these freaks that's obsessed with Kirsche.
Trans-oriented, if you will. What they talk about is trans, which, you know, I don't care. It's your content. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It does become an issue and a little freaky when you want to get kids involved into your world. And before we really get into it, I just want to say...
I'm gonna say it, and people might hate me for this, but I'm gonna say it. If your entire content and your entire personality revolves about your identity as, like... It revolves around you being trans... You being into men, you being into women. Just like with like those red pill dudes, you're just a fucking weirdo. Like you're just a fucking weirdo. I'm just gonna say it. Is there more to you than you being quote unquote in the wrong body? Is there more to you than that? Goodness. They better leave my bouncy fox girl alone. They will never. Apparently, Kirsche is now in a, like, put away safely. I don't know, it's weird.
Say this, I don't hate trans people, okay? I really don't hate anyone. I only hate people that don't subscribe to my channel and drop a like. That's like my biggest ops. But besides that, I have no problem with trans individuals. I have no problem with, well, anyone, really. Don't care what you are. As long as you're cool and respectful towards me, I'm going to be cool and respectful towards you. Now that we got...
So true, though. I don't care that you're trans. I don't care. Be trans. Go ahead. Just don't be a fucking weirdo. Just live your life as every normal person and don't be weird. Don't do anything weird. Don't act weird. I don't want to hear about your really weird, like, fart fetish that you have. Because, yeah, I still remember Anna Valens. I don't care. Just be like everyone else. If you want to be considered normal, just be fucking normal.
Got that out of the way, because I know if this person sees my video, they're going to be like, this guy's transphobic, and, you know, all of this, to beat that trans.
That's accurate. That's accurate. And they will depict you as transphobic, whether you like it or not. Even if you say you're not, they're still gonna depict you as that. You can't change that. Just sensitive society. Just live with that. Just live with it. You cannot escape it.
Transphobia allegations. This should be a nice introduction to who this individual is. This VTuber has repeatedly shared their desire to groom children. They even think children can consent to life-altering decisions. So where's the backlash from VTubers?
There is none, because a lot of VTubers are scared to even say anything, and a lot of VTubers are just, I'm gonna straight up say it, they're on the side of Niara. That's just oftentimes the truth. And if they're not on the side, they're still gonna act like they're on the side because they don't want to catch the heat.
One of their tweets: trans people will never leave kids alone. We want trans kids to be trans and give them the...
I'm gonna say it, there is no such thing as a trans kid. If your 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old says they're the opposite sex, then that's on the parents. That's on the parents. It's oftentimes the parents that groom their children into this. Remember the one clip that surfaced of, like, two boys and their mother, and the boy just straight up saying, she doesn't care if I'm any of like LGBTQ. The only thing that she cares about is that I'm a part of it. Remember that clip? Or I think Asmongold reacted to something where a mother groomed her own kid into being trans, and the father couldn't do anything. They interviewed the father, but the father couldn't do anything. That stuff. When with transphobic like jokes is okay in my opinion, but the serious hate like phobic shit is not cool. Obviously, that makes sense. That you shouldn't wish ill will on anybody, in my opinion. If you want to criticize thing, also I'm gonna say it, you should be able to make jokes about anything. And if you don't like the joke, just disengage with it. But yeah, my take is, there is no trend, like, no 8-year-old wakes up at like 6 a.m. in the morning and says, I'm a girl now. Or I'm a boy now. No one does that.
The education and care we desperately need when we were younger. You know, we have this amazing YouTube video and thumbnail: leave the kids alone, leave kids alone. And this...
The thumbnail is so weird though. That's so weird. Yes, leave the kids alone. Here's my take. No HRT until the age of 23, between 23 and 25, because that's when the frontal lobe is fully developed. A 12-year-old doesn't know shit, a 14-year-old doesn't know shit, a 16-year-old doesn't know shit. Heads up, I think an 18-year-old does not know what's going on.
Base Giga Chat responds with no.
Oh, stupid bitch.
Now, because I'm going to get asked this, do I think children, right? Children/kids, do I think children should start transitioning? No, I am not a fan of that. I mean, how can you make that decision? How old do you have to be until you drink alcohol? 18, 21? How old do you have to be until you could get a gun? How old do you need to be to start getting tattoos? 18? But you can change your whole gender, or at least start when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Really? That's what...
You cannot drink alcohol until you're 18 or 16 here in Germany. You cannot drive a car until you're 18. You cannot get a tattoo until you're, I think, here again, 16, 18. You cannot do other weird shit without, like, being 14, 16, 18. Why should we allow a child to transition medically? If you're like 14, you believe that you're trans, you want to live as the opposite sex, Go ahead. Don't take any medication. Do it. Just live your life as that. That's okay. Phony. I'm joking. It's all good. It's all good.
What we're doing, I think that's a bit weird. I don't think we should be allowing kids to do this. How is this person pushing for little kids to start transitioning, altering their whole body, or just because you felt like it that very day? You might change your mind later, but at that point it's going to be too late. When you're forcing it upon kids this aggressively like this YouTuber is, it's weird, it's freaky, it's disgusting.
Also, it's like, consider this, right? Some kids, like some boys, they may act more feminine. Just let them act more feminine. Don't do anything. Just let them act more feminine. Who knows? They might just either be a more effeminate man, or they might be homosexual. In that case, that's fine too. Same with girls. Some girls are just tomboys. That's okay. Or they might be lesbians. That's okay. Just let the kids be fucking kids.
Let them be a kid, let them figure their shit out, and then go from there. If you're an adult and you want to chop your penis and at 4, go crazy, you know? But doing this and enabling this behavior on a child who doesn't know better, who legitimately thinks that they're Spider-Man, do you really want to give that kid?
I wanted to be Goku as a kid, as a child. Spoiler alert, I'm not Goku. And I cannot transition to being Goku. It's that reality we live in.
Full control of everything he could do. It shouldn't be legal. I think that's fucking insane. He also made this certified hood classic. Forcing kids to wait till 18 is a bad thing. So this guy just wants every newborn, as soon as they say goo goo gaga, that means I want to change my gender. So, you know, cut my penis off while it's small. This is weird. I'm not here to call this person a pedophile or anything, but I mean, they're not helping.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. A PDF is somebody who's sexually attracted to everyone that's younger than a teenager. That I think it's disingenuous to call Niara that. I don't even want to call them a groomer because they haven't done anything yet. I want to go and say that because I feel like as long as somebody has not committed a crime, they are not that yet. Just be there. But yeah, certainly not helping. Certainly not helping. They're German. Yep.
There is more harm done by not allowing a kid who is questioning their gender identity to not explore themselves and get the treatment recommended by experts. Who are the experts? Are you the experts? Doing all of this yapping has definitely made me thirsty. Thank God I have my, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but thank God I have my Advanced GG with me. A powder energy drink that has 0 sugar, all natural caffeine. If you don't like energy drinks, they also have hydration. There's only a few more hours to use code Soci3ty for 30% off your order. They have amazing flavors. I know you're going to love it. Link in the description and the pinned comment. Now let's get back into it, but first I gotta, God knows I need the hydration right now with all the yapping that I've been doing. So what if the kid was 7? And, you know, they have an insane, disgusting parent like this individual. They're like, yeah, sweetie, you could transition. And then they're like, well, I don't like it anymore. I was a kid. I
also think that if you were forced, quote unquote, to transition as a child, you should be able to sue your parents straight up. Just calling them a freak. Yep, I'm calling them a freak. I mean, they are a freak. Also, there's plenty of people that do have that regret, that went full on through with this, and they're regretting it, and they cannot go back, and now they're suffering because they cannot go back. Cut off booba will never naturally return. A cut off wiener will never naturally return. I hate to break it to you, but that's the truth. There's a term in law called Mr. AM, meaning criminal mind, and that is enough to arrest. Yeah, sure. But they're never gonna would never get arrested here.
I do think in 20 to 30 years, we're going to see the fallout of this. And I'm sure a lot of the kids will hate their parents. Why would you let a kid make a life altering decision like this? Why are you so obsessed with this? All your videos are kids, kids, kids. It's like, bro, chill out. Your hard drive low key might need to be checked at this point. And I think back to when I was a kid and I'm like, I was so retarded. Well, I still am, but a lot more when I was a kid. Dude, imagine if I had this crazy idea put in me by my mom or my dad that if I want to be a girl now, I could. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do it. And then many years later,
I don't think dads often do this. I think it's mostly mothers. It's mostly mothers that do this. I've seen it in the school I worked, where a boy was just regular living as a boy does, right? And the mom came out as a lesbian and then started to how do I put this? Feminize her own 8-year-old son. Do with that what you will.
I'm just like, why the fuck did you guys let me do that? I was a child. I did not know better. I was literally a kid eating crayons, eating glue, running around like fucking Naruto. Why would you let me alter my whole body because I felt like it that day? And you didn't want to be a fucking parent and tell me no. Wait, or we'll figure something out. You know what I mean? There's ways to go about it. Like, this is just low-key grooming children into being trans. A 9-year-old doesn't know shit. A 14-year-old who thinks they know everything, they don't know shit, okay?
But the mens rea in Germany is more for criminal mind. Okay. The thing is this, right? This is also not getting recognition because remember there was a VTuber who literally said that they like cracking eggs. Remember what that term means, cracking eggs, which is essentially just grooming somebody into being trans. It just is. It just is. I remember someone transitioned into a guy, but then regretted it after realizing men are being treated harsh in society. They didn't transition. Well, actually, there was a guy, right, that like was crying and like complaining that like there's no physical intimacy, you're nothing, you're just a guy, and women don't want to be near you. But remember Nora Vincent, who lived as a guy for a bit, and then stopped because it was too much, and then deleted herself because of the experience. Remember that? Yeah. Yeah. Horrid. Horrid. It's funny because my own mother thought I was lying to her about being bisexual and said she would pray for me to become heterosexual. That's crazy. But yeah, happens.
Let's see what they had to say. I don't want to slander anyone.
This person thinks that minors should be able to consent
to medical treatment. If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty. How do you not
Are you fucking retarded? Consent to puberty? The fuck do you mean consent to puberty? Puberty is something that you cannot consent to. It just happens. It's part of your fucking body. That's how it works. You don't have a choice. Oh. How? You cannot Oh, I didn't consent to growing up. Cut me off at my knees. I don't want to be tall. I don't want to be an adult. Eradicate me once I hit 18. It is something that happens whether you like it or not. That is part of your body. There is no consent. This is meant to happen. Oh, I didn't consent to getting cancer. Guess the cancer disappears immediately. This is something that happens. Oh, I didn't consent to, whatever. What's something that naturally happens? I don't know. I didn't consent to building muscle. When for example working a physical job, guess I gotta remove those now. It's just something that happens, the bodily function. The fuck do you mean? Oh my god. This is final stage woke. This is like a stage 5 woke. When you cannot consent to your bodily function. I didn't consent to peeing. I didn't consent to pooping. take out my in my organs. What the fuck? Get out of here. Freak.
Understand the take. Like, what the is wrong with you? Like, seriously.
Also, that German accent is horrid. That's horrid. Wasn't an Indian guy? Some guy just like made a German accent like as a like for like shits and giggles. This is what they sound like.
If they can't consent to HRT, if they can't decide which puberty they want to go through, how do you like justify?
Which puberty? Which puberty? If you take puberty blockers, you're not getting through puberty. If you take HRT, you're still going, like, you won't go through any puberty. What do you mean there's two versions of puberty? You cannot get through the female version of puberty because you aren't a woman physically. You can as a boy, you can only go through the male puberty. You cannot go through the female puberty because you don't have the body parts.
Forcing them through puberty.
Now, the tweet they're referring to is this one right here. If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty. I had to read this like 2 times to make sure my brain wasn't fucking leaking. This person is so fucked up mentally. They're fried. They're like, well, you know, if you can't consent to HRT, then you can't consent to going through puberty. Consent to going through your natural selected puberty is now something that is completely against your will? What is this argument? It's just a non-existent BS argument to compare apples to fucking watermelons. It's not the same thing, okay? With HRT, you're constantly injecting yourself with something to change who you are. And with puberty, it's something that we all go through. Am I supposed to give this person a lesson on puberty? I better be getting paid extra for this, for giving a lecture on puberty. It is not the same thing, okay? Puberty is something that we all go through. That is a natural thing. It's just a natural part of life. Why are we having this argument? This is legitimately a non-existent argument, and this person's trying to make it an argument and a thing. It is not the same thing. What are you on about? You're fucking insane. The amount of mental gymnastics this person had to go through to get to this argument or this conclusion.
Stage 5 woke. I'm gonna call it this. It's stage 5 woke. It just is. That thing is for sure rage baiting. That's crazy. This isn't rage bait. They were part of a life ruination campaign against Kirche. As well. This is, unfortunately, it's not rage bait. It is not. They genuinely mean this when they say that kids cannot consent to puberty, something that happens naturally to them. That has to happen. That's a bodily function. Bro. These freaks make me lose my mind. See, there's a trans person, and then there's whatever this is. That is whatever this is. Stage 5 woke. Puberty is a natural process for development. What is talking about? That is a very good question. That is a very good question. I am flabbergasted that somebody can have this kind of take and it just be considered normal and okay. And there were 300. Look at this. There were 300 additional freaks that were liking this.
Beyond me. At that point, you might as well make the whole argument that you don't consent to being born and blame your dad for nutting inside your mom and bringing you to life. You are brainwashed, okay? I don't know who brainwashed you, but you're fucking...
Yeah, remember the people, like, I know Charlie Kirk is sometimes a bit odd, but okay, I'm gonna bring him up here, because I've seen that one clip, where one guy literally said that he would have rather gotten aborted. And I was like, bro... Ain't no way. They brainwashed you so hard that you, if your parents decide, you would have rather get aborted than live. That's peak fried brain. That's why kids go to school, or you will be that. uh, uh, I would love to meet their parents just to know what's going on. There seems like fatherless behavior.
retarded. I was willing to be charitable towards you, but they're just weird.
When these people talk about consent, it's always in a gross way. When I, for example, talk about consent, it is to like address the claims of like trans kids don't exist because they are too young to transition and like all these things. They should.
Trans kids don't exist except that parents groom them into being trans. That's my full take on it. An 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old will not wake up and be like, yes, I'm trans. Something happened. Either it's the parent or the media that they consume. Straight up. Remember, we had a show here. Remember that there was this kids show. Remember the kids show with the cow, and the cow saying that the cow says that he identifies as non-binary. Remember that weird shit? That's the kind of stuff kids are consuming. There is a German channel on TV that literally has a show where two girls talking about one girl talks about transitioning. It's like a 12 or 10-year-old, by the way. You can forget this.
Shouldn't have HRT. It's the same with me saying, hey, you know, if a trans kid cannot consent to HRT, then why can they consent to puberty? How does that work? And then it's like, oh, that is so different. That's like lunacy that you even like insinuate that such a thing even like exists. That is crazy. Do normies actually fall for this kids can't consent to trans affirming healthcare argument? I feel like people.
Look at this chat. Look at this chat. They're agreeing. They are agreeing. Their chat is agreeing with them. Also, grifting. Grifting. I hate this word grifting. I hate it. Once again, I'm gonna name an actual grifter. iDubbbz. That's a grifter. That word means nothing. Same with like right wing or left wing. Those words don't mean anything anymore. Everyone here in this chat is retarded.
Maybe like in the center.
Yeah, this argument isn't the argument you think it is. You're so fucking weird. I kind of feel like I need to shower after making this video. I gotta keep it real with you guys. Why are we having this argument in the first place?
Same, I feel dirty. I feel dirty. There's a person that claims to be male, female, non-binary, and when I heard that, I felt like I lost brain cells. I feel like being LGBTQ in current times is much so less because a lot of people are actually that. I feel like it's a trend nowadays. Because, like, sometimes the parents pop up, they have, like, 3 trans daughters. Or, like, 3 trans girls as, like, daughters. And I'm like, bro, what did you hit? The fucking lottery? I'm gonna straight up say it. I feel a lot of it might be a trend. And not genuine.
Can you please just leave the fucking kids alone? Let them be kids and then let them figure their shit out later. Why are we forcing this upon them? Once again, this does not come from a political side. I'm not here to push an agenda. I'm just seeing all of this as a normal ass person. How did we get to this point where we want to force transition onto little kids who don't know better, who are barely getting what life is, and you're like, well, you want to change your gender? Let's do it. You know, I support that 1000%. It's one thing to do it as an adult. It's a whole different thing to do it as a little kid when you don't know better. If we're going down this route, you could get a tattoo at any age. You could start drinking at any age. You could start smoking at any age. If a 5-year-old wants some beer and a cigarette, dude, just give it. And if you
with this, you start opening. The more you loosen up at the age of consent, you start opening the box of Pandora. Then you can drink earlier, you can drive earlier, you can get tattoos earlier. You can sleep with people earlier, because that box of Pandora you will open as well. All the things that we try to protect kids from, that is outside of the age of consent, what you're effectively trying to do is just slowly but effectively annihilate the age of consent.
He also wants to get a tattoo that very same day of a fucking Crayola in his forehead. Let him. Who cares? And if that very same day he also wants to transition, dude, fuck it. Let's just do it. Fuck it. If we're heading towards that, just let the kid be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. Don't even be a fucking parent. Just let him wander aimlessly throughout the universe. And I found this comment and it says, as a relatively normal trans person just trying to exist in society, it's people like you that really hold us back. This person is
Damn, based. I agree. Based. It's not. Like, gender dysphoria is a real thing, right? It just is. I just highly doubt that people like that might not just be all the gynophilic men and or weirdos. Just saying.
It's just making trans people look horrible and like creeps when that is not the case. There's cool trans people out there. There's trans people out there that are just trying to live their lives. But it's these type of individuals that fuck it up for everyone else. I found this comment as well. As a trans myself, I don't agree that children should transition. Children are by default not smart enough yet to make their own decisions, let alone know what those decisions even led to. A random kid at 13 or younger shouldn't be thinking about this type of stuff, which I agree with. Puberty is a natural progression of things. It exists for a reason. Now, this is someone responding to them on Twitter, and they say, sorry I'm a leftist, but I still think that the risk of infertility when it comes to HRT and puberty blockers is too big of a risk to give to teenagers. Let them go to therapy for short, but no HRT before 18. I think that's a valid take. This person is delusional.
That's a valid take. That is a valid take. And they say, I think it's more important to save lives. Yeah, but what if they change their mind and now they're infertile and they want a family and they can't get one? What then? And then they commit Sudoku. What then? The blood of that person is on people like those people, on their hands. There's plenty of women that did that and then detransitioned and wanted to be mothers, and they will never be able to breastfeed their children because their breasts were removed as a teenager. You fucking imbecile. I don't understand how you cannot consider the possibility that it might backfire. You not just say, you may save some lives, but you might also ruin some. Which is why it's really important to make that decision when you're able to do so. Oh, I know this is not rage bait. That's the problem. Yeah, it's kind of sad these days. I always kind of knew my own sexuality, but didn't actually accept it until I was 22 years old. Hence, it makes sense a child can't make proper decisions. Very true. Like, frontal lobe develops until the age of 25 for some people. Consider this.
Before 18. I think that's a valid take. This person is delusional. This person should never be taken seriously.
Because a lot of these things that they are saying are they're from a fake point of like compassion. We don't hate trans people. We just want kids to make the right decisions. Love how this pretends to be shocked.
I guess it's wrong and you're insane and transphobic if you don't want little kids to start transitioning. The thing with these people is they only see black and white. That's all they know. That's all they see. And life isn't black and white. I wish it was that simple. Okay.
I'm gonna straight up say it. If you call me transphobic because of that, I don't care that I'm transphobic. I don't give a rat's ass. Fine. I'll wear it. I'll wear it with honor. I don't care.
Okay. But it is not. And you're potentially harming the child a lot more when you enable his 7-year-old fucking thinking. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. This person, please check their hard drive. The amount of times they talk about kids on their Twitter and YouTube is a bit sus. I'm not here to call him a pedophile or anything, but very interesting. To say the least. Anyways, I'm out. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and I'll see you next time.
That's the end of the video. Yeah, all I can say is Niara is get the fuck out of the VTuber space. Thank you. Pack your stuff. Go. Leave. You are a fucking weirdo. You're a freak. That's all I can say. That's all I will say.